name is Laisha. This is SipNQuip, where I talk to people that want to talk to me or that take the time to talk to me. What are your names?
My name's David. I'm Robert.
Yes. And what are we drinking today?
We're drinking some Modelo Cheladas.
Okay. I'll put a picture up later.
I waited all day to drink something just for this show.
That's like so sweet.
I did. All right. Cheers. We're gonna make you drink a little too.
Okay, not that much. Okay.
All right. Cheers, everybody. Sip, then quit.
He said cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, I'm so thirsty though.
Why the fuck is it salty?
Oh, they're so good,
That is good.
Laisha.
That is good.
Oh,
They're so good.
I've only had beer at the bowling alley where we had the Potters thing. I think you were still working
You
at
had
that
beer?
time.
What kind
Yeah,
of
because
beer?
Ashley made me drink it, and then you were like, try a sip, and it was
yeah.
fucking nasty. And then she made me try some Fireball shit, even though I told her I've tried that,
You had
and
a
it was
shot.
nasty.
You drank some cherry McGillicuddies that day too. And
Disgusting.
sent you home.
Okay. So first of all, how was your day today? What did you guys do today?
We're good. We had went and supported you for a family funeral, sad event this morning, but came to band practice. Robert and I play in Sky Urchin out of Madison here, and we're up at Potter's in the mezzanine rehearsing today, and then kicking it with you.
Yes.
Yeah. Drove up from Chicago this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was mostly good. I don't know. I love living there. It's great to come back up here and still have some friends to play music with and talk to. And I think this podcast sounds like a super cool idea, even though I technically don't really know what the format is. But I think it'll be fun to talk
Yeah, I
to.
see some dice.
Yeah. We're just talking about random stuff.
Right in your
Just so
nose.
that people can listen to it to make their day better or whatever. Just have a little laugh, even if they don't know us. And then the visual stuff will also be on YouTube. So.
All right.
And anything that's boring, or if we're just kind of buffering, trying to figure out what to do, I can just clip that out of the video as well too.
Yeah,
So.
I'll get it in post.
I just got to move
Take
around
care
a
of it in
lot.
post.
So
Yeah.
all the edits, I'm just
Uh-huh.
jumping.
You can see your drink level change
Right.
if it's a clear cup.
So as they said, they're David and Robert from Sky Urchin, but they've also been in other groups. So I looked back on your channel, and I saw that the Majestic was your first music video
Yeah.
in February, March, April, May 22nd, 2015. Can you tell me about how that process was and stuff like that, and being able to finally put a visual on it? Or was that not the first time?
It was a cool video.
Yeah, I mean, I think our origin was sort of interesting because this band came out of sort of the transition from another band that we were both playing in, and Ryan, our bass player, had been active in a band at the time as well. So we were kind of looking for opportunities right away to play versus taking the time, as I think all musicians have the experience of sort of starting something from the ground up with a group of friends, and the pains of kind of even learning what it's like to play with each other. And we just, really hit the ground running. So when it came to generating content and having some videos, a lot of our early performances are still accessible on YouTube. But wanting to make some music videos, we had really come from a place where our previous band for Dave and I had set the bar really high. There were some really cool, totally professional music videos that we had worked on. So knowing that we didn't necessarily have those connections to enter into music video land with Sky Urchin, we sort of just took the other route of just kind of taking what we had. And that video from the Majestic was basically me walking from the shoreline of Lake Monona, very near the Machinery Row building, and I think I just sort of set a filter on iMovie and then dropped out a bunch of frames, so it kind of just jumps forward. And it was just a walk from where I worked at the time at this yoga studio in Machinery Row up to the Majestic. with the plan the entire time to sort of give a nod to the building space where OK's Corral used to be, a venue that would have been awesome to have had in our lifetimes, or our musical, active lifetimes. And then walking up to the Majestic and sort of like plastering this note of like, you have the power to let local bands jump on some of these bills, like do something about it. And I'm positive that was the impact that led to this, but certainly, for one reason or another, in the coming years, the Majestic would and still does have local Madison bands open, which is huge. So eventually we got to play a very short show there, but my great-great-grandfather used to operate it in, like, I can't remember, it says in the beginning of the video, but in like the 1920s, more or less. And so that was sort of like our sort of trying to self-manifest the idea that we'd get to play the Majestic by writing those lyrics.
And also paying tribute to, your great uncle, and the lyrics says he walked to work every day, rain or shine, whatever it was in the lyrics. So it was kind of a cool jaunt through Madison up to the Majestic. It was one of my favorite videos we did because it was so simple, low budget. It was just Robert walking around. And
zero budget.
Zero budget. But yeah.
No, there's that paper I taped to the sign. But I left it there. That was not like some stunt. It was just like left it there, walked away.
And then we played the Majestic like a year later, maybe.
Yeah, when that other band who was third place in Battle of the Bands couldn't play, and we got we got
by default
bumped in.
Shit, yeah.
Never won a Battle of Bands in my life.
I did one that was rigged. Like, I'd been playing in high school.
You rigged it?
Yeah, we played with this guy, and we had played a couple other shows, and he said something about like, oh, we didn't have enough attendance to pay the band like the amount of money that we had promised, so I'm gonna make you guys the winner, but I can only like give you a fraction of what it is. Is that cool? And all I remember is that at the end of that show, we were on a big stage and it had drop ceilings, like office style. And I just like put my guitar up into the rafters on our last song and just walked away with like an on and distortion and just what was that guy's name? It's like Randy Ziegler, something like that. If you're watching Club Z, I remember mostly Club good memories, Z. But you did totally like rig that Battle of the Bands. It's the only one I've ever.
He knows it. He knows.
Statute of limitations by now. It's
right. Yeah.
Don't count.
So, where did you two meet?
Well, Robert and I met, technically, it would have been up in Sheboygan County. So, Robert is a good friend of another friend of ours named Michael, who you also know. Michael and Robert met each other in the Milwaukee days. So, I went to UW Milwaukee, lived with Michael, kind of moved out after a year, and Robert, I think, then moved to Milwaukee, and that's how they all met. And we have kind of a big group of other friends that we met at that same time in Milwaukee that all live in Madison now. So like Johnny, Brandon, Greg, who used to work at Potter's, probably even more than that. But yeah, so one day Michael moved up by me. I rented a farmhouse on 78 acres. This farmhouse was like designed kind of like bought by an architect in the 80s, 90s. It was built on to a big extension in the back, folded ceilings, spiral staircases. It was kind of this wild place. And in our early 20s, Mike used to bring Robert up to jam. So we would set up all of our gear pretty much in the library at that point. He eventually took over the living room where we had a fire and everything. And basically we just started jamming and recording. We always had a little tape 4-track or whatever.
Yep, 4-track. I was playing bass. Michael was playing guitar.
And we still have those recordings. They're
on little pink tape somewhere. That'd be a good winter project. Kind of bust.
I had them on the tape when my car actually had a tape player in it. I don't know. Yeah. So as we started jamming, and honestly, about a year later, Mike moved to Madison with Robert. Okay. And then the day I moved to Madison, their drummer and their band they had going, Sky Urchin, he moved to Seattle almost the same day.
It was like the same week. So same day.
It's kind of like slid right into his spot and started playing full time with Sky Urchin. For many years, turned into Sky Urchin, and the rest is history. We were roomies at least once.
Yep. I mean, when I think of meeting you, it's everything you said, but specifically location around that house that you were renting. I guess I could say I met David Payne in a field. Like it wasn't exactly like the romantic, like people running towards each other, but I kind of picture him walking up to me and sort of like, oh, it's nice to finally meet you, or it's great to finally meet you, because we had heard so much about each other, and it was such a beautiful piece of land, and so that really was like a cool start to our friendship and playing music together.
Those are good times.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you guys click immediately, or did it kind of take a little bit?
It was like immediate, to my surprise, because I hadn't been drumming a whole lot, and playing a whole lot at that time, and so when Robert and Mike came, it was an opportunity for me to kind of get back playing, because I kind of had to quit for a year or two, but it seemed like it was seamless. There were a bunch of stuff without even practicing once. We were hitting stuff that could have been, played on a stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty natural. Right from the get-go.
Who and what was the Phil Kegley band?
PKB was, we rented a rehearsal space on commercial by Hartmeyer there, and basically, what would you call them? Like our next door neighbor, essentially. The room next to us was the Phil Kegley band, and then was Sky Fly. And then it was kind of this lounge area between the rooms, and people would kick it outside smoking, whatever. So we met their band. Ryan had the loudest bass in the whole building, so that's how we knew, well, that's that guy. Like, it's gonna be loud. I remember that. Yeah. Eventually, we became really close friends with the Phil Kegley band. Phil himself, Tone, their drummer, worked for Potters.
Tone
was in the band. Yeah. They were filming music videos, and we were as well, and so. We kicked it a lot with them. Put a hole in the wall so we could get into each other's.
I was gonna say we shared a wall until there was a hole in it.
Oh, literally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean that was probably from, some unproductive, not very creative moment of power to just see what could happen, because these walls were all plywood, and in between were like cardboard flattened like PBR 12 packs. It was just like that was the insulation, which just like once we found that out, it was sort of like, when is this place going to go up in smoke? Like we got to be careful. But we Phil Kegley band, I believe it's the We're Here to Rock video. Yeah. Where we had that video where they started in their practice room. And then they're playing live, and then the camera leaves. It's all a single shot. And it goes into the lounge, and Sky Fly with Dave and me, Ben and Dustin are sitting on the couch, just kind of like watching, whatever dumb thing was on the TV, because that would have been real. Right. And then it kept going into our room, but by the time it gets to our room, the Phil Kegley band's already in there, like playing, because they went through the hole.
They went through the hole in the wall, and then picked it right back up with a single shot. There's a lot of creativity back then between us. Raw. Yeah, it was really cool.
So watch the We're Here to Rock Phil Kegley band, and check out.
Fuck yeah! No yelling, but I can swear.
No yelling.
Fuck yeah!
Okay. May 25th, 2012. There was a Mr. Roberts event, and Dead Apples got to perform, and not Sky Fly or Orifice A. I saw that.
We played with them.
There was an event where Robert typed in that Apples got to perform, and then he said we weren't able to play for this one, but people can still come for the vibes. Or maybe something worked out and you guys were able to in the long run.
I remember we did play with Dead Apples a few times.
Yeah, but
we have to cancel.
Just not sure about the specific date.
Never remember having to cancel a show.
Not at that point in time. I don't think so. So that's interesting. I wish I had some more.
2012.
Yep, May 25th, 2012.
And what did
I'll also place a little picture there so that they know I'm not lying.
All right. So what did I say?
It says something like, I guess I can show it since I can clip this part out. Do you know if Dead Apples or Orifice A is still around?
The people for Dead Apples are still Larry and Cy.
And the drummer Lisa.
They're not still playing. Lisa is Cy's wife. They're out of Portage, more or less. Larry lives down on Willie Street around Madison.
Somewhere around there, yeah. It'd be great to see him around soon. He has not like a new child, but he's had this like kid that I really feel like he and his wife Cassandra have really like built up their social media around kind of, you know, how awesome their kid is, and they are, because they're musicians. Cassandra, White, and Larry Bush, White Bush Unicorn, was a superstar like Frank Zappa-ish band with horns, and you know,
Jordy Hipple was in it.
Yeah, Jordy was.
Okay.
Ron's brother.
Yeah.
That was the last time I've kind of seen any of them really play.
But I think Larry's one of those, you know, like he's always going to be tinkering with some songs, and eventually he'll get to a point where he plays more. Cyrus, I think, plays mostly solo music under the name Cyrus John, and he and his brothers, I mean, like basically the whole family's musicians, and so they still play. But the band Dead Apples was probably, I don't know, I think they probably started dwindling down a year or two after that show.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't remember us ever having to cancel.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
There's definitely times we probably should have.
Yeah, I feel that with our group too. Like, I probably shouldn't have done that one. But it's fine. The first game that they got was What We Doing.
What we doing?
Okay.
What are we doing?
Do we need the ball for this one?
No, that's just a talking
Okay,
piece if you
okay.
just want to hold it or have something to play with or whatever, fidgeting. Okay. Collaborate with Blink-182 or open for a Green Day at their concert. Which would you rather do? You
Probably-
can say your own answers if you would like to.
Probably open.
For
Open for
Green
Green Day, just to, you know, because then we could perform our own shit.
Yeah, to do our own shit would be probably my preference. Honestly, like the sort of Blink-182 comeback, I mean, I've seen some clips and it's been impressive.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I sort of like
Yeah.
moved on from them at a certain point, but you know, to go back and see them just like wailing, and obviously Travis Barker's an amazing drummer.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
still
And-
probably even more fun to watch, I think, just because, you know, I'm their age. Like,
Yeah.
like, really, you know, they're still killing it. I don't know.
But yeah, to be able to open for Green Day, I
Yeah.
mean, I did go see Green Day last year around this time at Wrigley Field with Smashing Pumpkins opening and Rancid,
Oh, yeah, dude.
and I can't even remember the first band. I wasn't quite there then, but I mean, yeah, to open for Green Day like now and over like a place like that, I mean, I'm sure compared to like how we play here, without having the sea legs, it would be a disaster, like with the stadium sound and everything
That's
else.
why I
and
was
trying
like,
to,
you
hear
know, like
stuff,
to be able to
like-
have those that many ears around you that can like tune into you guys' stuff.
It's like
Or
the
would you rather be
monitoring
like,
and
oh,
the-
I get to have a song with Blink-182 where we can say Sky Urchin slash
feel
Blink.
like I'd be scared to play with Blink because Travis is such a good drummer. And I'm scared of him,
Yeah.
And just a social media presence, and but I mean, he's a great producer too, and I've heard stuff, you know, he's done outside of just the drums. I mean, it would be cool, obviously, but I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Which group would you take away forever? So if you never heard the music again, and if you could just like Thanos snap and they're gone.
Fuck.
Foo Fighters or the Hot Chili
Oh,
Peppers?
good. We get options. Fuck, that's a tough one too. Is that like
Really? So there was a time that we played the Crystal Corner, which is coming up for us next weekend. But I think it was that show. It could have been somewhere else. But there was like a Dane 101 or some sort of review like media website. I think it was all digital at the time. Dan Walkner's partner Erica,
Yeah.
like she wrote for them or something, and I feel like he got to write an article, and there was a review of our show, and there were a lot of really awesome accolades that he dropped there, but one was like, they sound like if Foo Fighters grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
And I remember being like,
That is
you know
like-
That's
what?
bittersweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, but like I can kind of see it like in a certain way.
Yeah, a little bit raw country, but still rocking.
But there's also, I mean, I think I'm influenced by popular opinion on this. I mean, like a lot of later Foo Fighters stuff is very much classified as like dad rock. You know, like it's sort of, you know, it's pretty safe. You know, they've got like 3 guitarists sometimes playing like stuff that's pretty similar, which definitely thickens things up when you're playing that kind of music live. Like for us, I think, you know, being a trio, the fact that you can hear all 3 of us and like what we're doing is part of
hear what you bring to the table.
What is special, or our intentions for the project. But when it comes to the Chili Peppers, they also have like a falling off point for me as well.
Some of the creepy
yeah,
shit.
listen to Foo
that
Fighters
fucking
more than actually.
Anthony Kiedis, I don't know, he's kind of a creep. But musically, I've always been more inclined, you know, to be more similar to Chad Smith as a drummer, I would say, than or mix of the both. But I like the funk, you know, that they brought in to rock.
And they were straight up like funky there for a while in like the 80s. They had a album with George Clinton of Parliament Funkadelic was producing it.
And he's yelling at him.
Yeah, like,
He's like
that video on
screaming at
YouTube.
him.
I haven't seen that in like 10
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
You've seen that?
We saw George Clinton at
Breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah, there's a video of him screaming at Anthony Kiedis, like, maybe it's Flea. I don't even know. He's trying to like produce them and make them more funk, more true to funk.
I think the Chili Peppers have a more interesting arc to me as a band. So even if I'm like less inclined to enjoy some of their newer material, it's still like, I mean, it's very catchy. They're all playing their instruments, and I love, honestly, how when they played the Super Bowl sometime in the last 10 years, like it sort of was coming out around that time that the musicians were playing the backing tracks because it's just such a big production. Like you can't afford somebody to like fuck up.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just for the package you're presenting, like it's got to be shiny and perfect. So they like, I don't know if they admitted it ahead of time or there was something there that's worth looking up, but when they played, it was sort of known that was the situation, and they still just like rocked out and had a fucking awesome time in front of this big crowd, and I can appreciate that spirit.
Yeah. So I'd say drop Foo Fighters.
Drop Foo Fighters.
Snapped away. Punk rock, you know, like the Clash, Sex Pistols, Green Day, Blink-182 versus pop rock. So like Fleetwood Mac, Rolling Stones, Rem, Queen. So which one would you say is the better subgenre?
It's been different in different parts of my life. You know, I think it kind of depends on where you're at in life and what you're going through, and I think when you're young and hungry and pissed off, you know, that's where punk definitely helped me through those times in ways where I don't think I really enjoyed Fleetwood Mac until like 2 years ago. I'm more comfortable in life and I can chill, you know, and ride my longboard and just, you know, like the videos on TikTok or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So it's tough. I mean, I don't know. That's not really an answer, is it?
It's versus, so you gotta say which one.
I mean, I definitely am for the punk all the way because I think it's just the most real music that's ever been out there in terms of the rawness behind it and the political, you know, side of things as well. Standing up for what you believe in and not having to be, you know, a graduate of Berklee School of Music and, you know, playing every note perfectly. And that's what I feel like some of the like Fleetwood Mac and stuff. I don't know. I just always like it when there's that element of raw.
And I think I don't know, for recordings and listening to recorded music, I too was like, I definitely would have been more punk at one point. Certain pop elements drew me in as I wrote more and more songs. It's sort of like finding that like just core, like what is it to write a song regardless of genre, and then appreciating, you know, contributions to that from different genres. And then certainly there's like I'm glad you said the Clash. That's good to throw in there. My dad had London Calling in the car all the time on CD as a kid, and now I'm old enough to like have a rough day and get lost in the supermarket. You know? And it's like, all right, back to the Clash. But I think even Fleetwood Mac, because you can see it in some of their live shows, like with Lindsey Buckingham on guitar for sure. all of these pop rock bands, if they were up here in our space just playing, no matter what it was, there would be more of like this punk and raw element to it, to just have the instruments be in this room and not treated, or you know what I mean? So it's like there's still elements to all of that, but once it gets sort of produced into, you know, a professional product, I mean, there is a pop sound, but at the end of the day, if you threw that in a garage with people playing the music, it would still have this like punk feel, I think.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I don't know.
You guys
Well, then you
agreed
say
again.
REM, and I thought we both love REM just because we love trios.
So that was all of what we doing.
What we
yeah.
do,
Now
what
we're
we
on
did.
Sip or Spill. Make sure you got your cans.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna sip first.
Yeah, this is disgusting. I'm not drinking this shit ever again after today.
Sip or spill.
Most recent life-changing realization.
So wait, now is this like, if we don't want to say it, we sip? Or,
Life realization.
Yeah.
We're all fucked.
Like some people are realizing that
We're all fucked.
the guy from Malcolm in the Middle isn't the same guy from that 70s show. And people are like, oh, wasn't he in jail? And then everybody's like, no, that's his brother. And they're like, where they think that's the same
I didn't
Masterson
know
brother.
that.
So, like, that was kind of life-changing to
Well,
some
see,
people in the comments.
now that would be
I
my
just
most
learned.
recent life change.
So I
Yeah,
gotta-
so what is your most recent thing where you're like, oh, I didn't know that? Or like, oh, okay, now I'm, like, clocking this.
I mean, most recent maybe is not the best label to throw on it, but I mean, I think I'm like getting more aware of what it's like to be getting older, and sort of thinking about how I'm going to be 40 in a couple weeks, and like we're still playing like music and doing these things that I like to do in my mid 20s, and sort of realizing like how I've looked at my parents' age and kind of thought about them as always being these older, wiser people, and they go through their, you know, chunks of change as they become, you know, into their elderly years. But it's like, as I'm growing older, I'm starting to realize that like they are, like, I will probably still be the same person as I get older, that there's not going to be necessarily huge shifts other than, you know, sort of the physical nature of getting older. And just sort of thinking it's interesting that like my parents approaching 80 still probably have this like connection to who they were all the way through their like beginning adult years and teenage years. And I guess for me, like finding comfort in that there's not necessarily some new version of myself that I should be achieving at a certain point in my life, that I can just kind of keep being me, and as long as our like arms and legs don't give out too hard, that we can still like play a show every once in a while, and that sort of just experiencing more unique things from the perspective of this core person I've been is going to be like the richness of the rest of my life, is just having little experiences, continuing to be myself, and thinking it's really interesting of how I used to think about people who are so much older, and you know, wondering if my dad can still imagine what it would be like to be 40 and like have a beer and be on like a podcast or something, you know. He's not radically different.
Yeah. You had nothing deep, David.
Nothing that deep. I mean, life is fragile and it goes fast.
Yep.
And I've definitely every year learned that, especially when you get to 40 and above, and you're kind of like looking at your parents and what they did. Yeah, I mean, in their 20s, you know, my parents had 3 kids and owned a house. They were 25 years old.
Must be nice.
Right? You know?
Yeah.
So it's kind
I
of,
don't even want
you know, I
kids,
remember my dad's 40th surprise parties. It just seems like that was all yesterday, and you know, things could be like a blank.
Yep.
Definitely realize that the older you get. I mean, everyone does. It's deep.
Sky Road Fly or Dogs of War?
Dogs of War. For me, I'm the drummer for both.
Well, that's both of you.
Yeah.
So like, whose music do you like to look back on a little bit more? Or, like, which would you prefer? Like, which do you like to reminisce in?
I'm gonna answer first because I think this is a bigger question for Dave.
Yeah.
Like having been in both, I think there are similarities in both. It's a very clear fusion for Dogs of War of hip hop and alt rock and metal, and I mean those are probably the biggest ones, but a lot of other things too. It was a meld of a bunch of things. And on a more subtle level, Sky Road Fly was the same thing because there were some shared influences, but we also all brought some like more far-reaching influence to that, and that in sort of the microcosm of being just a rock band led to interesting compromises and interesting arguments and interesting you know, blossomings of songs that would have never happened if we had been all more of like the same keel. And so I think that is a connection that I realized more recently between the two. And, you know, I wasn't in Dogs of War, so I have to say Sky Road Fly, but really interested to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I mean, for me overall, looking back, it's definitely Sky Road Fly was almost like my golden years, you know. It was coming out of a situation living in Sheboygan County, not being able to play with good musicians or anybody. I was kind of in the middle of nowhere, not meeting anybody. So Sky Road Fly really got me back in that groove of 3 practices a week, dedication, you know, and professionalism and things, you know, booking tours, recording albums, setting goals. Whereas, you know, Dogs of War did the same thing as an offshoot. So it kind of came later when I was already more established, and it did allow me to play hip-hop beats, which I've always really liked to do on my own. I never had the opportunity to really do in a band before Dogs of War, so I appreciate them for that and respect that genre a ton, and was happy to be part of it. And a pocket drummer, you know, was the first opportunity for that, just kind of lay back during certain parts and not always. I learned a lot, you know, to balance. I don't have to be so aggressive and do so many fills and let the kind of guys around me shine a little more. But Sky Road Fly I always have about, you know, the top place in my heart for it, just because of the times I was going through. It pulled me out of a big hole, and there wouldn't have been a Dogs of War, you know, without Sky Road Fly. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
And you said who was the OGs in Sky Road Fly?
So Sky Road Fly,
was that the one Peter was in?
No, Sky Road Fly was me, Robert, Dustin, Big D, and then Ben.
Okay.
So they were in a band with Kyle, who moved to Seattle. They had that going about a year before I moved to town. Yeah, and then when Sky Road Fly, Ben kind of left the band. We became a trio. It was me, D, and Robert. Recorded the album Trace. It was a 3-song EP. Then that band split and essentially formed 2 bands, Sky Urchin and Dogs of War, and I became the drummer in both.
Right.
Yeah. Since then, Dogs of War has kind of gone. Well, it's gone away. Everyone moved on and kind of did some different things. The studio Warm Glow is still here over at Fish Hatch, and you know, Dex is like a doctor now, and Vince is doing well, and so yeah, Anthony too. Good guys, but yeah, COVID kind of disintegrated that band.
Yeah,
I liked it both. It was really cool to play. You know, and at the time, I was in other bands from the Valley, as well as my Irish, you know, punk band out of Milwaukee.
Yep.
And so, it was, for me, probably my chops were the best they've ever been when I was playing that much, you know, and it was a versatile range. So, up in the Valley, I was doing a lot more blues, Jimi Hendrix. My only cover band I've ever been in was Hookup, which taught me, you know, really to listen to that drummer, stay in the pocket, stay on time, be dynamic. Tons of stuff I took from that and then applied, you know, to Sky Urchin and my original stuff. So yeah, it was a weird time for me to be in all of that.
Yeah.
And it's everything I wanted, you know, moving to Madison. And I kind of lived it for those few years and then kind of didn't want it anymore, you know, to that level. And the pandemic didn't help, you know, just kind of shut everything down. So
What's the craziest thing you've done under the influence of alcohol?
Oh, God.
usually they're when I'm with Robert, watching Robert. toss shit into the Yahara River. And
God, that's one of them that was... You know what? Fine. I'll put that on there. I hate this story. But it kind of came to my mind before you brought it up.
That was a wild night.
There's just been some. But in terms of, like, destroying destroying property, that one was just senseless. It was... it's
like free pancake dinner.
Oh, like what river did you say? Like, because I think it's pretty questionable what river it actually was. But there was a church that had this like wonderful sign. It's actually a great church for like I guess a pancake breakfast.
I don't know,
something like that. And I just really didn't like seeing
sandwich
it.
board sign.
And I threw it in a river. That's just the most shameful. Like, there's definitely like worse things I've done, but that one felt bad because like I'm not very religious, but I can respect, the healthiness that a lot of religions bring for people. What the churches and the mosques and the gathering places can mean for community, and a lot of beep.
Yeah.
We'll see if that picks up, but
right.
Back in Chicago already. Like, I just really respect that, and so it felt bad. So you know what? I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole of thinking about other things. But I mean, nothing too terrible. I will say that I think that there's a point of drinking. When you get to a point of like being blacked out or you can't remember that you did something. Like, that's a shitty place to be. There's a lot of other ways you can imbibe in something to change your body chemistry or change your mood and not suffer the same kind of, consequences in terms of just, like, not being yourself. So, as much as I am enjoying this SipNQuip, I also very much enjoy the periods of my life where I'm not drinking and take the time off and feel more present with myself. So... but I haven't thrown a sign in the water for quite a while.
Also, the next time you come, you guys can also have chocolate milk.
I like milk.
We could do like the wholesome like Christmas episode.
Hey, I love nog, so I could bring
Nog.
I love tea.
Nog, dude.
You like tea?
Yeah.
Natalie and them like tea too. I hate tea and coffee. I don't like caffeine, and I burp a lot, so I don't like soda
There's
either.
so many flavors of
or
tea though.
sparkling and stuff.
Oh, Ash is in a tea phase right now. My wife. She pretty much brought in it was probably like 16 jars of it now sitting at home. She bought a little pot thing you put in there and steep it. It's that time of year. I mean, for me, in terms of stupidest thing drinking, is always hurting myself. Like, it was how many times have I hurt myself?
A lot.
Falling on the steps, the bachelor party, I bruised my ribs probably for weeks. Dislocated my thumbs.
Whose wedding was it? His?
My wedding. You want to see pictures? Yeah, it was not good. I got knocked out that night too. I got kicked off the stage at the strip club. That was stupid. I could have got my ass beat for that.
Elaborate.
I had good friends with me. Well, so we had about 16 people at the strip club on my bachelor party, and no dancers. And then, like, time goes by, we're like, well, we're here to like see some shit. Let's go get some entertainment up here.
Yeah.
Still nobody came, and I was shit faced. Like, we were at the Brewer game earlier, and then the Bucks played as well, so we were just kind of in Milwaukee partying. Then went to the strip club after all that. So yeah, pretty blackout drunk me, jumped on stage, jumped on the pole, kind of spun myself around a little bit. I had two of my friends that are mostly, sober and were looking out for me, pulled me down. Security guys kind of came up and were ready to beat my ass. They kind of pushed them off, and they're like, "We got him." They got me the fuck out of there, and yeah, but looking back, that was pretty dumb. I've smuggled in other countries. That was probably stupid.
Yeah.
Drunk on rum.
Nice.
I could probably name a lot.
It's okay. I'll only make you guys say one more
right.
today.
All right.
Okay, well, they said that they have a performance coming up. Where's that at?
Well,
Crystal Corner.
Yeah. How soon? Is this going to be up here in time? It's like 1 week away.
She might not have edited yet.
But
Yeah.
It'll be like a time capsule.
Somebody will take some video of something. I'm kind of not planning on doing my normal setup for this because it's just kind of weird,
Robert takes
speaking,
a lot of video.
to capture it. And I also saw this thing that I thought was really cool. This venue in Seattle that I had followed because I lived there for a short period of time is launching this series of shows called This Never Happened. And the idea is that I don't know if they're actually like taking people's cell phones or just really respectfully asking people to do not use your cell phone. If somebody sees somebody using their cell phone, kick them out, whatever.
Right.
Where it's sort of like this lives and dies in this room this night, and that's it.
Yeah.
I like
to
concerts
just
like that. I've
sort
been
of
to 2 concerts.
appreciate it. And I mean, I think even people who grew up, you know, in just having access to all these visuals and audios from shows, I could see people getting into that. We're like, oh yeah, this is super special. This is only, you know, one time, and it is what it is. So I'm kind of like taking that into the mindset for this show in terms of what I would try to capture. But you know, I'm sure there'll be something up there. You know, for people. We've got some crazy stuff planned for the show. Very unique.
And it's a place that's always been near and dear to us, being kind of the neighborhood. We grew up in here in Madison when we were in our 20s off Willie Street. Crystal Corner, we've seen so many shows there and have played some pretty great ones ourselves. So we're happy to be back. The first time in 8 years.
7, 8 years.
7, 8 years. I haven't played that stage.
I think the last time probably was with Dogs of War, which meant you played both
double
for
duty.
Sky Urchin and Dogs of War that night. But that place, I mean, I would probably imagine that 75% of the songs that we're going to play, to the extent that I'm a part of, you know, songwriting those songs, that all happened for those, like, within 2 or 3 blocks of the Crystal Corner in, like, 4 different apartments, jobs. Like, that area is just such a hotbed for, I mean, even our album that we recorded and released, you know, early last year, that was like maybe 5 or 6 blocks away. You know, so there's just something about the Isthmus that, you know, I mean, when we play, I think we communicate well with each other, but we're also trying to sort of channel something bigger, some bigger like line of communication that we're all syncing on, but it's also syncing with something else and hopefully people in the audience. And it's hard to not think that some of the energy around the Isthmus like kind of helps like make that even stronger. So I'm really excited for that.
Oh yeah, I'm just excited to not fall off the stage. Hopefully, like that's, I don't know. It's tall.
Yeah.
So the idea was we're gonna
basically
record
on
like
ceiling.
4 hours and then stop and check and make sure we have enough, and then do another 2 just in case we have enough. Or we don't have enough.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't quite know these two very well, but I heard you both work in a bakery. Is that true?
Yeah, with you.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I used to work in a bakery with you
Yeah.
and you,
Yep.
and now I
Multiple times.
work in a bakery with me.
Yep.
Yeah, Robert moved to Chicago and is working for the I Love Sweets Bakery, which is your
Yeah, I was
cousin,
next if
right?
he wants to shout it out or whatever.
It's a person I know pretty well. I
Yeah.
pretty much went there for an awesome romantic connection and have really loved being in the city. And as I've said before, like having the time to cultivate that relationship when I still lived here made it really comfortable to move there, knowing that I could still come up and do stuff like this. I mean, you know, Dave was talking about COVID killing a lot of stuff for a lot of bands. I mean, after COVID, our first show as Sky Urchin, it had been 3 years since we played a show. So we kind of have been comfortable with
It's
like,
crazy.
you know,
Yeah.
just kind of
Taking
playing
our time.
when we can and not, you know, pushing too hard. So it's been really easy to keep things moving at least a little bit forward from Chicago. I've joked a couple times about like, you know, I think Dave and Ryan are into the project for the same reasons I am, like the emotional release. We have enough of a reputation where we can play some cool shows on good nights, And really, like, what would it mean to, like, have somebody quit the band or stop the band? It's like, this takes, like, nothing out of, like, the effort, really. Like, it's like the old Marines, like, 1 weekend a month, but not anything else, just the 1 weekend a month.
Yep.
So it's just like, why would any of us ever stop doing it? Because it's not taxing.
Taxing. I don't know.
So what's your bakery called again?
I love sweets.
I love sweets. Okay.
You know what you would love, and when we get this to full market, this new product, I think you'd dig. It's wait, no, you wouldn't, because you don't like coffee. It's a cafe latte. It's like espresso tasting like shortbread. But we also have a shortbread that has none of that stuff in it.
I would try it. I like coffee
banana
cakes
breads
sometimes and stuff like that too. I can do that.
Their stuff is good, man. They do cookies and stuff too. They're more, obviously on the sweet side of things, where we do the kind of the cracker savory pairing.
Where do we work?
Potter's Crackers here in Madison. I've known you for what?
11 years?
At least.
Yep, 2014 is when I started.
12.
I want to make sure that the audience at home can realize that I did work here too, and these are my shoes.
Yay!
Hanging from the rafters.
From your last day.
Roberta. Yes.
Robert worked. We were a long time Potters. I think a lot of our bandmates worked for Potters when we first moved to Madison, and so we kind of stayed on the same schedules and would practice outside of the work. I don't know. Just always been, for me, employed in like some sort of food industry.
Yeah.
I like the bakery side of things because I think there's like a level of creativity to it that's pretty cool. I just like manipulating. You know, I was a Play-Doh kid growing up, and just like to squeeze it and make it into shapes and shit.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. But now I own it. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
A lot of hard work.
A lot of fucking hard work.
A lot of hard work.
Still today, and Laisha, you've been a big part of that too. So
I try.
it's cool, like seeing you outside of that element, and,
Yeah.
and watching you grow over the years has been really cool. So happy to call you my friend.
Yeah.
And having us on today is cool at Potter's.
Yeah, this is awesome.
You know,
Yep.
because you remember a lot of the old school days too, where the bakery was the size of this. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was just joking with the guys earlier, like all the shit I own. I don't even know, like I own a 100-foot pole. Does anybody want to buy this? How do you acquire these things, like over your time?
Right.
Just look around, like, oh, I own
Don't even
4,000 pounds of flour.
Right.
Like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
It's like Talking Heads. How did I get here?
Yeah, no, totally.
Like, how did I get here?
You guys have anything else you want to shout out? Your wives or what's your
We
next
love our
goals?
wives.
Yeah, of course.
Milestones that you guys want to hit?
Well, we want
Amanda.
to. Yeah, much love to Ash. She should be come picking me up soon. We got to get her on.
Yeah.
I think as a band, I think our goal is to kind of start writing again and get back in the studio to record something in the next few years here, and professionally just want to keep seeing this stuff grow. And my biggest drive right now is just trying to take care of my employees at a higher level and make this business more money for that. And that's where I'd like to see that grow another bunch this next year. We had a big year, but it's a lot of work, so it's been fun. And personally, we'll see. I want to buy some land and maybe start a farm. I don't know. I'm getting old.
Yeah. Not really.
I don't feel old, but I don't have much
40's
time
not old.
left.
40 is the new 30.
Yeah.
Robert?
I'll see how I feel about singing Over the Hill, There's Nothing But Down after I turn 40.
We could play the song.
Yeah, we can put that song in here. Insert. It's right there.
Over the hill, there's nothing but down.
I think for me, I'm just excited to sort of keep traveling, you know. I mean,
That too.
literally and sort of spiritually. I think this band has really become a more interesting outlet that doesn't just sort of play the songs like you're throwing a CD in and queuing it up again. Like, it's always different and it's fresh, and it's been that way to an extent for a long time, but really I feel like we've kind of gotten to another level where, whether it's just purely the idea of like a psychedelic nature or wisdom or whatever it is, we've really taken the songs that we've been playing.
Bless you.
Cough button. We've been taking these songs that we played for a long time, and they've grown into these like sort of other animals, and I think we're playing them in a way where it'll be really awesome to take some time to actually write some new stuff, because we've written like one new song in maybe 6 or 7 years. Everything else has been sort of just taking what we had and bringing it along with us as we continue to have our experiences, and that's been cool to watch. But in terms of starting something new, I think we're kind of getting to a place where we're ready for that and don't feel pressure to play X amount of shows, so when we can make the time to get together, you know, carve out more time for some new things.
What about you? Does anyone ever ask you questions?
People can.
Yeah. What's your professional goals? You know, you're a dancer. What about creativity, and what about all that drives you, and where are you headed with it?
I don't know. My dream job is kind of just like to have some type of content where people can watch it when they don't feel, when they kind of like feel alone or whatever. Because when I went through dark times of depression and stuff, music and like YouTube and stuff helped me to feel like I was like listening or talking with friends, and then like I just kind of want to give that to other people for when they feel down or just when they want time to go by a little quicker.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, okay, I can try a podcast where like people can listen to it at work and feel like the last hour went by quickly or whatever. So and I listen to podcasts myself too, so then I also wanted to make sure I have different types of people on here as well too. Like, I don't want just people near my age, and like I might have like my nieces and nephews on here to talk about teen stuff I don't understand.
Yeah, like 6, 7.
Yeah, exactly.
You bring them on here because I want to know about
it.
I'd watch that one.
So it'll basically be like some videos are interviews, and then some will be like random discussions. Like, I'm gonna have Ashley, Connie, Elijah, and Levon's mom on for like a book episode where they can just like be nerds and nerd out about books.
Great.
No, it doesn't.
And Ben likes planes and trains and stuff, and so does
boring as
Levon.
Yeah.
See, but we can but I'll have things for the dice
Ben
too.
and Levon, you should have them on together.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to give us names. Like Safety Dave.
I can do that.
Curly.
And Curly, got it. Oh yeah, wait, he was
we have our own names.
You Pain Train, and what'd you tell me about a prom situation of dance, and they kept calling you some name? Or you said your pimp name?
Lil Chama. You know, I was Velvety Soft.
Velvety Soft.
2 F's. No T. Soft T.
Did you have any dumb nicknames,
Soft
Robert?
T, Lil Chama.
Only when I was really young.
What was your nicknames?
Stick. Yeah, like 4th through 6th grade.
Is that a sex thing? Okay.
No.
Stick.
No, it was. It did kind of like feel like when we play like playground football or something. It's like, yeah, stick.
But it came from stick.
There's this. I don't know. I had been drawing on computers because computers were like in a weird state of technology in 5th grade. I mean, God,
like
that was.
Yeah.
I was like 11, so I mean, almost 30
years ago. 4 computers in your whole school. Probably.
Yeah, like
there's the one room.
But I would draw these I'd use Microsoft Paint and draw these really weird looking like people with like boogers coming out of their nose and like some blood.
Sounds like some stuff I draw.
I'd do all this stuff and I'd only have so much time, and it was sort of like, well, I wanted it to be complete, so I just make like a little stick body at the end.
Okay, well, thanks for being on SipNQuip.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, I want to retell them your names and where they can find you.
David.
Robert. You can find us Sky Urchin. Just search that on the socials, and we got a website too, which we'll probably lean into more.
Bandcamp.
Everything
although not on Spotify, because I just
took
tried to look for a few days ago.
Robert,
what the
we're
fuck?
taking a stand.
Did they do something suspicious?
Well, in brief, first of all, it always had been kind of weird to be on it because it really
Is this gonna be on Spotify? Oh,
that's
shit.
fine. We can talk about it. Oh, I tagged
I don't
that
care,
we like got off Spotify and I tagged it as sort of like we're not doing this anymore. And then like 2 days later on Facebook, it was like you've earned a top badge for Spotify as a fan.
Shit.
For pulling
like,
your
this
music
is like,
off it.
Damn.
I took a screenshot of it, so it exists. But
That's
I mean, essentially,
hilarious. What the fuck?
you don't really make that much as artists. Now we're very small time, but we've had tens and tens of thousands of streams over the 10 years that we were on Spotify. I've never cashed out through our online distributor, and I think we've got like $40 in the account. So I mean, now if you're somebody who has like hundreds of thousands of listeners a month, you probably get something, but it still doesn't really compensate for what you get from a split on physical music, or in terms of physical formats like a CD, cassette, whatever, or even a digital download, I guess.
Yeah.
So even if we mean like nothing towards that amount, it's sort of like, I don't want to be on it. You can find us on our Bandcamp, and I buy stuff on Bandcamp all the time, or find other ways to support other artists. And there's plenty of other people who are motivated to do that. And so, as much as it was super easy to have our music on Spotify, I mean, at our level, it just is just really kind of pointless to think that we're gonna gain anything that would be worth associating ourselves with them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully made you smile at least once listening to this episode.
Yeah, hopefully.
And you guys get to rate me at the end.
I heard that.
On a scale of what?
1 to 5. How was your experience today?
5, 10.
5.
Okay. I didn't know if there's something that you think I could work on.
I mean,
Well, we'll hear it back. Let's see.
I think honestly, like, if I've had thoughts about doing a podcast before, and I think the first episodes should be kind of raw and gritty, and you get back to your audio that you're editing, and you're like, oh man, I could have turned the mic down, or I could have turned it up, or I could have moved this, and you just kind of learn each way or each time you do it. And I think that journey is actually kind of fun for the listener to like go on.
Yeah. Now you guys have to say bye.
Bye.
All right, bye. See you again.